Have you or someone you love ever reached for Pepcid, Zantac, or Tagamet after a heavy meal? Seems harmless, right? But what if I told you that very drugs meant to help your stomach could be quietly destroying your gut health and putting your brain, bones, and immunity at risk? And here's the kicker: Zantac was literally pulled off the shelves in 2024, containing a potential cancer-causing chemical. In today's episode, I'm going to break down what these common heartburn drugs really do, why they were never meant to be used long term, and how there's better, safer, more natural paths forward using enzymes, microbiome, and some old school nutrition your grandparents would have approved it. Let's dive in because your gut might be begging for help and it's time you listen. Zantac, Pepcid, and Tagamet, they all fall into the class called H2 blockers. These drugs reduce how much acid your stomach makes by blocking histamine receptors in the stomach lining. Less acid equals less burning. That's the idea. They are used to treat heartburns, acid reflux, indigestion, GERD, peptic ulcers. Sounds helpful, right? But here's the problem. Acid is not the enemy. In fact, it's vital for digestion. Your stomach acid breaks down proteins, kills off harmful bacteria, absorbs minerals like calcium, magnesium, iron, and B12. Suppressing acid long term is like shutting off the fire in your digestive furnace. The food doesn't get properly digested, and this causes even more problems down the line. You probably heard, these are the safe drugs, but have you looked deeper? Let's talk about Zantac first. In 2020, it was removed from pharmacies due to contamination with NDMA, a known carcinogen, cancer-causing substance. The FDA issued a recall and it made headlines around the world. Now, Pepcid and Tagamet are still on the market, but here are the documented side effects from the extended use. Nutrient malabsorption, especially B12, calcium, and magnesium. Increased risk of bone fractures, brain fog, and fatigue. Gut dysbiosis, which is imbalance of your gut bacteria. Rebound acid overproduction after stopping the drug. One study in JAMA Internal Medicine found that long-term acid suppression may increase risk of chronic kidney disease and dementia. Let me ask you this. If a drug causes malnutrition, alters your gut microbes, and could lead to bone loss or brain decline, is it really a harmless fix for indigestion? Before these pills, people used herbal bitters, fermented foods like sauerkraut, kimchi, kefir, digestive tonics, enzyme-rich raw vegetables like papaya and pineapple. They also didn't live on ultra-processed foods, which creates inflammation, slow digestion, and cause that familiar acid burns. Heartburns wasn't common 70 years ago, not because they were healthier genetically, but because they digested food better, had more natural enzyme support. When you eat a meal, your body produces digestive enzymes to break down proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. But with age, stress, poor diet, and overuse of acid-suppressing drugs, your body makes fewer enzymes. And here's the paradox. When you can't digest food fully, it ferments, creates gas, pushes stomach content back up, and you feel like the burning. But it wasn't too much acid. It was poor digestion. Studies published in Frontiers in Microbiology have shown that enzyme supplementation improves digestion and helps correct gut dysbiosis by supporting your gut natural enzyme output and feeding the good bacteria. You're not masking the problem, you are fixing it at the root. When you take acid blockers, you alter the pH of your stomach. That opens the door for bad bacteria and yeast to thrive. Low acid equals weak first line of defense. Over time, this imbalance leads to bloating, constipation, or diarrhea, food sensitivities, leaky gut, even autoimmune triggers. But when you restore microbiome diversity and support digestion with targeted enzymes, you repair the gut lining, reduce inflammation, and start to heal from the inside out. This is why I don't just treat heartburns with banned acids. I help people rebuild the gut. If you are tired of popping pills to chase symptoms, and you are ready to get to the root of your digestive issues, then it's time to rethink the way we've been treating our gut. Start by supporting your enzymes, rebuild your microbiome, and make food your medicine again. Subscribe if you're ready to take back your gut health without side effects. And hey, if you know somebody who's still taking Pepcid every night just to sleep, send them this episode. It might just change their life. In the next episode, I'm breaking down the surprising link between anti-acid and anxiety. And yes, your gut can affect your mental health more than you think. So make sure you hit the subscribe button and tap the bell so you don't miss it. Because your gut doesn't need more drugs. It needs to be restored with what nature gave you in the first place.